Hey guys, what's blue and not that heavy?
I don't know.
Light blue.
That's a simple one. Oh, man. Welcome to episode 29 of Bros, Bumps, and Beers. I am Pat, the EST of Triple B. With me is Matt Tooties Gagne, and about to crack his beer, Jordan, the Jackhammer Schofield.
Whoa, it shot at you there, eh, Jordan?
It did. It got on the mic. Pat, how's your, did you take care of the internet issue?
Look, so here's the deal. So I called, actually, I've chatted with them online.
That's the way to go, by the way.
Yeah, they get such good answers and so
Unless you need a refund, then you're fucked.
Yeah, then you call, because then you could yell at them. So he said there was something that was pulling too much of my upload download speed, which was the iCloud, and I didn't have it, so it was on the wife's phone. She had her iCloud backup on, so it was pulling too much. This should work this week. We had 2 Zooms going at the exact same time on Friday. If this for some reason does not work
on Friday.
Yeah, if this for some reason does not work, I will be breaking every piece of equipment in my house.
I want to say that like picture wise, your computer looks fantastic. Like your audio, it's not like I can see your face clearly, which is a detriment. However, it does mean that your computer is working well. Matt's camera does perpetually look like it's shot on a potato. I will say it's a very crappy camera.
Yeah.
I would rather see Matt in person, but until the cases get back down, that will not.
Hey,
What's up, baby?
Fingers crossed. Good soon. Fingers crossed.
I'm hoping. I think gut check end of January. I'm also going to try not to scream at the TV tonight. I mean, that's my solemn goal. I'm definitely not watching the Steelers Bengals looking for the over out of the side of my eye. I'm completely focused on this.
Yeah, I have no attention towards it. I did not bet on it. That sounded like a stupid game. But I did come back home.
Watching Home Alone, the greatest Christmas movie of all time.
It's one of the greatest movies of all time.
Second to Jingle All the Way.
Ooh, yeah, I Jingle All the Ways all time.
Not even a top 5.
Love that Christmas movie. Absolutely. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad. That would sell today. You put that on a billing and I'd be like, yes, please.
Old Schwarzenegger and old Sinbad? Oh.
Yeah. If the cases were at like, hey, we have 10,000 cases a day, but we're putting this in theaters, I would risk COVID to see Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad.
Arnold Schwarzenegger has been and probably always will be Big Mike's hero.
That's all.
Loves Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I could see that.
He watched that one documentary, Matt. What was it about? It was about plant-based diets.
Pumping Iron.
Plant-based diets. It was about plant-based diets.
Yeah. Oh no, what's it called?
I can't remember, but
give me a second, I'll find it.
Mike watched it probably 3 times, okay? And for 2 days, he was plant-based. I'm like, why are you doing this? He's like, I saw a document. Arnold Schwarzenegger's in. He's plant-based, so I'm gonna try it. Did it for 2 days. Said he felt great, and then the 3rd day, he's like, this is hard. I don't want to do this.
Yeah, the sodium is brutal.
I think the game changers. If we ever want Mike to do something in our lives, we got to say Arnold Schwarzenegger did it. I think that's just easy. That's just easy.
Crap! Now we have to get Arnold Schwarzenegger on the podcast to get him on the podcast.
That'd be a big get.
What a big 5D chess move that we're gonna have to pull off. Hey, we got Arnold Schwarzenegger on, so we could get Matt's dad on. It was tough.
How would that even work?
I know.
Oh, God.
I'd be into it. You get Schwarzenegger, damn. But yeah, no, I'm kind of back to reality today because last night, me and the wife, still married, weekend, pretty good. We went for a little staycation honeymoon. We went to a nice hotel in the city, a little swanky. Weirdest thing about that hotel. So we get in, really nice accoutrement, big king size bed. I love me a king size bed. I got to get one next house.
Me too. That's on our house list as well.
Oh,
sleeping one every night, boys.
It's probably fantastic.
I just want a place where our dog can get on the bed and not wake us up. Yeah.
Or just not be near me. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But so you get there and it's regular hotel room, but then there's the dividing wall between the bed and the bathroom.
Yeah.
It was a window.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
Kidding?
I know the hotel, so that's why I'm nodding. But I've seen, hotels are interesting. In my old line
Like,
of work, you got to see
yeah.
some shit.
Back in the pre-stay-at-home bitch days, right?
Why do you want a window? So you can watch your significant other poop?
We did brainstorm this, and we said it's usually like, I don't get the feeling that a lot of people go couple-wise to this hotel. So it's usually one person. So it's like you keep the window, the drapes up, and you can watch TV while you poop.
But you say that it's not close to the airport. So why would
No, it's
people
true.
who are traveling
Yeah.
I feel like it's some kind of weird weird thing.
Architectural thing. Yeah, I don't know. And you draw the drapes
Like
down.
what
so you can't see
architect?
anything.
There's some. I know what it was. The architect who designed that hotel, or the interior designer, whoever designed the inside,
Mhm.
had some kind of fetish where they like to watch people go to the bathroom.
I think it's more, isn't it more like the
Big if
assumption
true.
is if you're in the room with someone you know. Yeah, I see what you're saying. You know what? I think it's weird outright. I'm trying to play
And
devil's
I don't
advocate.
want to
can't
get too
find it.
weird. I don't want to get into too much bathroom culture in everybody's house,
But
but we both thought
question.
that was weird.
Was there like a blind on it?
Yeah, you could pull it down. Like, it wasn't like,
See, that's dumb. That's dumb. Why put a window if you can just pull the blind down? Just make
I
it a
think
wall.
it's maybe it has to be like the open concept type discussion,
be.
right? It has to
Yeah.
be. It's like it's like feels like a big room.
yeah, just it did. The room
There's
did
somebody
feel bigger,
listening to
honestly.
this that's like, you idiots. That's normal.
I guess that it's not normal. No, I can confirm.
that's
I can
not. I've never
confirm
seen
in my
never seen a
hotel
house.
travels that's not normal.
Never seen a house, a hotel. Jordan used to travel all the time when he had a real job,
That's right.
and never had that. So I think this hotel's just weird.
Jordan still has a real job.
Yeah, we had the awards banquet for it today. It was a great.
Oh, how'd that go? Did you get dressed up?
I put on a button-up shirt. Yes, that's all I
Did-
did.
did you
Usually
wear
I'd have to
pants?
wear a suit. But no, awards banquet. Oh my God, it's 17-0 Bengals. Everything's drunk. Okay, so
That's okay though. It's okay.
yeah, it's good. That's good for me. They need to keep scoring. So basically, yeah, it went really good. As usual, which is knock on wood, but yeah, usually I'd be in Arizona or San Diego, staying in a nice resort, doing the stuff we usually do. And this year we were on a 1-hour Zoom. And
That sounds like a blast.
yeah, it was. I mean, it was as fun as they could make it. I'll put it to you that way. Like, there's only so
They
much
probably
they can
put a
do.
little bit of effort into it at least.
Yeah, they did. They did. It was good.
I did a retirement party over Zoom on Thursday, and it went way better than I thought it was gonna go. It was like not nearly as awkward as
Maybe
I thought
we're
it
just
would be.
figuring
So
this shit out. And we're
Yeah,
just
like,
that's what I mean. I
You just
think
gotta
like
adapt.
it's getting to a point where it's almost normal now. I think.
That's terrible. I don't want that.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
even the Zoom, they read off who hit what number and how it all went and blah blah blah. And usually that thing would take 2.5 hours. So there's something to be said for the hour-long dead shot, right?
Yeah,
I think everyone was looking around. They're like, wait, why can't we do the normal awards banquet in an hour and then we can all go party even sooner?
Oh, but speaking of parties, hey, this podcast will be released on Wednesday, which is the 23rd. So guys, happy Christmas Eve.
My favorite eve of the eves.
Is that a thing? Christmas Eve?
It's a friends thing. You wouldn't understand, Jordan.
Oh no, I would not.
Yeah.
You're right.
But
And I'm
because I
thankful
wanted
for
to
that.
transition to Christmas talk, Matt, I was talking to our Maja, and she says you have started doing Elf on a Shelf. And when she
I
told me
have.
about when she said Matt's doing Elf on a Shelf, you know what I said? What the hell is Elf on a Shelf? I have no idea what that is.
Jordan, do you know what Elf on the
I thought that was
Elf on the
something
Shelf
that people said. I didn't know that was an actual thing that happens.
Some mom somewhere, I don't even know. I don't know the history of it. I just know this tidbit. Some mom somewhere
I love
started
tidbits.
doing this. They are good. Could you eat? Oh, little sidebar. Got challenged by the guys at work this week. They're like, hey, on Friday, the day before we go on holidays, let's do a centurion, or we want you to do a centurion of Timbits, but we'll give you 3 minutes in between each Timbits. You have to eat 100 Timbits in 5 hours.
That doesn't sound hard.
It does. Start thinking about it though. Start thinking about it.
Okay,
That's 90 calories a Timbit,
Oh yeah.
times 100. Yeah, that's 9,000 calories.
and that's a lot of sugar. That's a
Yeah.
lot of dough.
Probably took a killer nap after though.
I didn't do it. Are you out of your mind? I didn't do it. Anyways, going back
But
to the
that's
Elf on
not
the Shelf.
the thing where it's you're going to take a sip of beer every minute and you're like, oh, that doesn't sound bad. And then all of
Yeah.
a sudden
You
you're
do the math.
you're like, oh my
math
God, hold
ruins
on
it.
a second. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you've drank 355 ml beers
Yeah,
in an
you're
hour and
dead.
10 minutes. Yeah, exactly. Going back to Elf on a Shelf though. Yeah, so some mom started doing this with her kids
Mhm.
and said, "Oh, this is a good idea." She is now super rich because she started selling it. So basically, what you do is you have this elf.
You have to
Ours is
purchase
an-
the elf.
You have to purchase the elf.
Okay.
Okay. The kids can't touch the elf. The elf is a scout elf, so it is placed in different places in the house and is there to monitor the kids to see if they're naughty or nice and report back to Santa when he shows up on Christmas Eve.
Oh, so it's an accountability tool.
Exactly.
Wow.
So you get it. You have to name it. Ours is named Bubbles.
That's a sick. That's a sick elf name. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Ours is a girl. There's girls and boys.
Of course.
There was only girls at the store, so we got.
Like, does it have long hair?
No.
Oh, it's just. Oh, okay.
It just has eyelashes, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the general purpose of this is these elves get into mischief at night. The kids can't touch them because they'll lose their magic. So you, if there's any kids listening, earmuff it for a second. So the parents at night, you move these things around and you get them into general mischief. So one night, what did I do? One night, my wife Janelle, she put it in the bathroom and made a smiley face on the mirror with toothpaste and put the toothpaste in the elf's hands so that it looked like the elf did it. My kid loved it. Today I put the elf sitting on the counter in the kitchen with a can of 7-Up and a half-eaten cookie, and my kid thought it was so funny because we buy the 7-Ups for Dad when he comes over.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, the elf's trying to drink one of Pepe's 7-Ups." He thought he's just laughing his ass off.
So
Great.
So it's basically it's an accountability tool. 2, it's humor, and 3, it's terrifying. Like that would be so. I would not be into that. That would freak me out, even if I was the one moving it. No, that freaks me out.
I miss the simplistic joy of childhood. You know?
Oh, you want to see pure joy?
How easy is that? Like the things I have to do nowadays to have that much fun. Let me tell you.
I know.
Yeah.
2 examples of pure joy for you. Number 1, my kid looking for this elf in the morning. Like nothing makes him happier than when he finds Bubbles and she's in general mischief. He loves it. Second thing I saw this week, if you could bottle this joy, it would be the greatest selling drug of all time. Kids on toboggans getting pulled by other kids.
Quick hand raise. If you pulled me on a toboggan, I would still be psyched. Like
exactly.
I mean,
bottle that, sell it. You're a millionaire, a billionaire probably.
Oh yeah, and going down a
I'm
hill
talking
on a toboggan.
Amazon money here. Oh,
going down a hill on a toboggan. I remember GTs, or what were they called?
GT snow racers.
Oh shit! Ours was so dangerous. It didn't have the front ski. We used to flip barrel roll on that shit.
It wasn't a GT racer, it was a knockoff. But
that's why, because we're poor. Right.
Yeah.
I had one, and I was gonna say not having the front ski would be pretty detrimental to the way it works.
Oh, but it had like these skis that popped out and turned.
Yeah, it was.
Just
I almost got really hurt doing it a couple times.
Jordan!
Awesome. Jordan's looking down on us because he had a front ski on.
No, I'm still perplexed by the point of Elf on the Shelf. Like my brain is in a pretzel. I don't.
So he's like, when does this elf disappear? Like,
so the elf appears. So this year, parents got off. There was this craze where parents were putting the elf, because you have to move it every night. So they were putting the elf in a box and saying, like the elf was in quarantine for 14 days. So they usually appear December 1st.
Oh my god!
What?
Yeah, they usually appear December 1st, and then Santa takes the elf back to the North Pole on Christmas Day.
All right. So Matt has found a way to make Elf on the Shelf more interesting than a Frank Sinatra stolen car, which is huge. Massive news there. I am continuously terrified of parenting, and I continue to stay there. That sounds like way too much work. And it sounds
What if you forget? What if you forget to move it? Is it just ruin the kid's life?
I definitely was told last night, hey, move the elf before you come to bed. Okay, no problem, honey. Start watching the wrestling that we're going to review later. Fell asleep on the couch and went to bed, didn't move it. She goes, did you move the elf this morning? I was like, shit. So I ran downstairs and did
You need to like teach your kid some hard life lessons. Like one morning he needs to wake up and there needs to be like an empty bottle of whiskey and the elf needs to be like sprawled out on the ground. And it needs to be like, this is elf after a night of bad decision making. And then there has to be a time where like elf goes to get an STI test, you know, and it's like we teach about venereal diseases. I think
you're going really dark. You're going really dark. I was just gonna say have him drink one of Matt's beers and like have Matt scold the elf so Easton will never touch his beers.
Like get a bag of
STI test.
Yeah,
Jesus
let's
Christ.
you know what, like elf on a shelf. I mean, listen, if the elf is sitting on a high shelf, we have a potential life lesson right there. You know, like let's talk the elf off the shelf, right? Like let's work on, you know, positive reinforcement and really bringing someone, you know, into the light. So that's what I'm thinking.
You should get like a cop elf in the morning. It's just holding up the bubbles like what happened here, and then
I'm excited for Elf in a Cell. That's what I'm really looking forward to.
That's a hell of a stip. They should do that one time
Elf
on
in a
Christmas.
Cell. Yeah. Also, the obvious follow up, Elf on bail. Just teaching your son how bail bonds work. This is all. You know what? I'm back in on this.
Jordan, you got a moneymaker here. We got to turn off the podcast because this shit's gonna make more money than Elf on a Shelf.
Yeah, and we can do. You know, if we want to teach him about gambling, we could do Troll on a Roll, you know, see how things are going, you know, and then we can teach the troll what happens when, you know.
No, if you want to teach him about gambling, just have him watch a live feed of me and you watching on a Sunday and losing all our friggin' money from NFL bets.
Yeah. This weekend wasn't too bad, but
hey,
Christ.
Table that. Can we talk this a little sports here?
I mean, like wrestling or other sports?
Well, if we continue, NHL,
and that's where a bunch of
come
people
back.
listening to this podcast
NHL's
go,
back.
wrestling's not actually sports.
It's sports
Real to me,
entertainment,
damn it.
right? It's real to me, damn it.
Yeah, damn straight. It's sports entertainment. It's got sports in the name. But anyways,
Yeah.
NHL coming back 2021. Gonna have a season. They've signed off. Sounds like all Canadian teams, if everything goes right, will be all in Canada
Not in
playing each other.
Canada.
Not in
No,
Canada?
Not in Canada.
Oh, I thought they were gonna
No.
do it in Canada.
I don't know. Apparently Vancouver won't let them play in Vancouver.
Oh, Matt, so you don't know this for sure?
No.
No, then stop talking, you negative.
I
Nancy.
know Ontario's going into lockdown on the 26th, but
Yeah, but I mean, we'll make we made exception, or so I say we. I am a Leaf fan. They made exceptions for the NHL before, and they will do it again.
that's true. But yeah, like so, if we're talking just Canadian teams, because
If it's just Vancouver, tell the province to suck it and put the Canucks in Saskatoon or something.
Well, apparently they're talking somewhere in Alberta.
Yeah,
see that.
put them in Moose. No, well, just put them in Calgary.
Yeah, just share the city.
Calgary or Kamloops or something.
Yeah.
Or...
But so I had a thought. So if all these Canadian teams are going to play each other, the
Matt,
whole
back away
season-
from the camera. Jesus,
Why are you so
Christ.
close?
Because I was putting my slippers back on.
I'm sorry. Stop. You were putting your what's
Hey,
on?
I have a new thing. I got Kipper on a slipper.
Kipper on a slipper.
Nick
Yes, I wear
Kiprios has been off
slippers sometimes.
Sportsnet for a while, but
It's
nice to
manly.
see him back with
It's a
Kipper
manly
on a
move,
slipper.
Matt. Keep your little toesies warm, eh?
If they get too hot, then I got to take them off every now and then. It's a whole thing. Can we just talk about hockey?
Okay, but back to my point. So if we have the 7 Canadian teams, of the 7, let's start with this. Who do you think has the best shot of winning the Stanley Cup?
Leafs.
It pains me. It pains me to say this, but I think the Leafs have probably the best shot if their defense can hold.
But that's the issue. I looked at all 7 teams, and I was kind of doing some research over the last couple of weeks just because I knew we were going to talk about this eventually. There is really no Canadian team that I have any faith in winning a Stanley Cup.
But you say that because on paper the Leafs have the most talented roster, but then you
No.
remember they're the Leafs.
No.
They are the Leafs,
No,
which
I
means
say the Leafs have probably one of the best top 6 in the league if you just look at it objectively.
I
or
will say
subjectively. Whichever
most
one
of
is without an opinion.
the 7 Canadian teams all have pretty decent top 6s. It's the back end and the goaltending where you got to start looking.
That's the thing, right? Like the Leafs have shitty D. They don't have a great goalie. Who's their goalie this year, Jordan?
still Anderson. He's
Anderson.
a career 9-10, 9-15 guy.
It's just like I don't
Now,
trust that at all.
The
The
problem with
defense is
him,
where things have got will hopefully get better. I mean,
but
hopefully.
you got to remember for this year, they're only going to play 56 games. So for the Leafs, that's a good thing because
that
they
is,
usually
yeah.
run Anderson to the ground.
Yeah,
Now-
I think the plan is also to like do some the taxi squad thing, which will be hilarious because the Leafs are already cash strapped anyway, so they're basically gonna like carry a 21-man roster and just ferry people up and down as they need them. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But I have a little bit of a hot take for you. Just reading and what I saw the last couple of years, Connor McDavid, I think, will go down in history as the most talented player to never have a winning team. I don't think.
he'll leave Edmonton.
But even then, would he win somewhere else? I don't think.
Yeah, because he's already making that like laugh out loud money, and I think he'd take a discount to go somewhere to win on his next contract.
Do you think he's the best player in the league right now? Is he the best player in the league right now?
Is he like the best player? Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, it's him or McKinnon.
I'd take McKinnon over him. I think McKinnon can lead a team a little bit better than McDavid.
I don't think so. I think pound for pound, skill for skill, I think McDavid, his speed is ridiculous.
He's dragging Edmonton kicking and streaming anywhere they go. Him and Draisaitl.
Him and Draisaitl are. I don't know if there's another team in the league that has two more, like the discrepancy between their two most talented players and the rest of their team is larger. I don't think there's a
like every time I watch
that.
McDavid, it looks like he's slowing himself down because the rest of his team is so shitty.
But that's only when he's not playing with Draisaitl, yeah.
Yeah, but like, can you win? Can you win with that?
No, they don't have a goalie. Mike Smith he's okay.
Like if we look at the hometown team, Winnipeg, I got them of the 7 teams. I got them slotted as the 5th best team of the 7.
Who's behind them?
I was gonna say 3 or 4.
I put Vancouver behind them and Ottawa behind them.
Oh my god, I forgot Ottawa was even a team. Yeah, Ottawa's.
Are they a team? They're kind of just they're team-ish.
I think Montreal's a team that screams regression to me. I feel like they could be either really good or tumble.
I feel like Montreal every year is scrappy and they kind of find a way to get the wins when they need it. Like when you have Carey Price as your goalie, he can steal you how many games in a 56-game season. What if he steals you 5-6 games that you're not supposed to win? That helps.
I mean, every game's going to be a lot more important. I'm definitely psyched for. I think this is actually the way that we should be doing hockey more often. I think these teams are going to come to hate each other by the end of the year, and that's why I don't want them all to be in the same city.
Are you playing?
I think if you're in a bubble, it's harder to be pissy.
No, they said you're going to play every team
9. I think every team
6
gets
or 7 times.
No, it's different. Every team is 9 times. And then one team, I think Vancouver plays Calgary, Edmonton 10 times.
We'll do some quick math here.
Because it's 7 teams, right?
7 teams, and you played. There's 6 teams you'll play.
Yeah, so
times
6
9. Yeah, so then there's 2 other teams
54,
you can play.
And then you have to do it twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna. Oh my! Yeah, this is gonna.
It's gonna make for a playoff atmosphere all the time because they're just gonna hate each other by the end of it.
Yeah, and I can't wait. I wish we could almost have fans. That would be the perfect thing because I feel like it would just be like the city to city hatred is going to be time.
I don't know for sure. Is the NBA doing a shortened season 2 or are they doing 82 games?
I have no clue.
I think there's a lot of this whole pandemic shit sucks and I hate it, but there's some things in sports I think they're going to come to realize less games is probably better. Like I love
not money wise.
I know not money wise, but Major League Baseball, does Major League Baseball really need to be 162 games?
No. Oh my god.
They need to be about they could be
112.
I think 115, 112 is where I was going to say.
Or 7-inning games.
No, that won't happen.
I would prefer 7-inning games times 162.
No, I don't want
play more
them,
double headers.
I don't want them to touch the format of the game. But I want less games. I think 162 is just insane to me.
So that could be shorter. Basketball should be shorter. There's no reason.
Basketball should be 52 games. That's what it should be.
Hockey, I still think you're up around 70.
I think basketball you can do 7. I think if you're doing cuts, they're minor. The only thing I want to see is college football do an 8-team playoff, but that's like me and everybody else who watches college football. I think the fact that like Texas A&M,
I don't even watch college football, and I think 4 teams is absolutely ridiculous. I
love the NFL. They've expanded their playoff. They're bringing in more teams. I like that.
Yeah, 7 teams, and it's making the first round bye more important, which I think is cool.
So I think like whatever came of COVID, like I think this like the bubble for the NHL, that was hella entertaining. I really liked watching hockey in that bubble. But that's all they were focused on. But now I think it's just cool. Like every Canadian team is going to play each other, and that's it. it makes, I don't know, Hockey Night in Canada will feel a little bit special, a little more special to me, I think, if it's a Canadian team every night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
Yeah. I'm just happy the Jets don't have to play the flipping Wild this season and lose to the
Matt,
fucking Wild every.
Yeah, there you go. Fucking
damn
Wild.
time.
Fuck the Wild.
Isn't the Wild? Aren't the Wild in like the Pacific or the West Division, which is hilarious? Like that makes no sense to me. It's like the Wild are in like Minnesota, and then they have to go just perpetually.
I did
travel
look
to,
at the
like,
divisions
California.
today, and I was like, there's a couple teams in there that are just getting absolutely hosed.
Shafted, absolutely
Yeah.
shafted.
It's like Jets the first season.
If I look at the 7 Canadian teams, I got Toronto at number 1. You got to say it. Edmonton at number 2.
We'll fuck it up. Don't worry.
Calgary at 3. Montreal 4. Jets 5.
You have Montreal
Vancouver.
ahead of the Jets, eh?
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Vancouver after them, and then Ottawa's just going to take up space.
I
In a
think-
56 game season, how many games do you think Ottawa will win?
16.
Yeah. No, it's hockey. I'd say 20. 20.
No, teams win 20 in a regular season when they're awful.
Yeah,
They're
but
gonna
this
win-
is one of those. This is going to be
I
one of
think
those
16 games.
They're
weird
going to be
years.
hell as shit. I think they might win like 13 to 15 games, and that's it.
So you just laughed when I said 16 and you said 13 to 15. Like,
That's a big that's kind of that's a lot.
one game.
Okay, well, 15 on the high. I'm
It's
sorry,
about 18%.
I'll go 13 then. Okay, you're
Like
right,
if you
Matt,
say
you're
16, you're essentially saying they're going to lose 1 in every 5,
Yeah.
that would suck. That would suck so bad.
right? They're going to go 1-4 in a 5-game split, give or take.
I think they're going to win in that 16 range and they'll lose in overtime. I don't know.
I think
Maybe
okay, so,
eight
but I
times?
think just because of where we live and what we're gonna have to do for fun, I think hockey's gonna bring itself into this podcast a little bit more and more, just because we got 2 hockey fans and 1 Leaf fan, so we'll be able to talk about it as much as we can.
It's very true. I don't watch hockey aside from the Leafs. I watch
So you don't watch hockey?
No, I watch the Leafs religiously.
Yeah,
I watch 3 sports in general, and then
that might be the worst cult ever, Leafs hockey, if that's your religion.
You need to go and watch college football and basketball more closely, sir.
No, we're
Pat, I'm
Pro
gonna
sports. Pro
put
sports.
you into an Arkansas message board and watch your brain melt.
Jordan, as a quick aside, I went to a UND hockey game. I've been to a couple, but I went to one and the game was a blowout. UND kicked Omaha's butt, their ass. There was this woman who clearly went to the school probably 40 years before, who was swearing and like telling people she was going to kill them if they were wearing Omaha jerseys. I was like, what is going on?
The big question on that story, Matt, is do you ask her what's up?
Ooh, she terrified me.
That lady likes
Some
to
people like
party.
being scared, man. But yeah, so anyway, let's jump to some beer. Jordan made the motion that he would like to talk beer. So Jordan, I would allow you to go first.
When Zoom took off the limitations, I got terrified of how long we could. Oh, look! It just gave me a 10-minute warning. There you go.
there we
Fuck
go.
it.
Good.
Zoom, you
It's
lying
only on
bastards.
actual. It's only on actual.
No,
like,
Matt. When I
politics.
say 10-minute warning, it's the time to not jump in with facts. Just
All right,
kidding.
go ahead,
Matt.
Jordan.
I love
What
you.
are
I
you
love
drinking?
you,
What are you drinking?
Okay, so I have
Sorry.
the Battle Axe from Festbier.
No,
Jesus
it's the
Christ!
Battle
I have
Axe
Battle
Festbier.
Axe from Brazen Hall. Thank you, Matt. That's a time I need you to jump in. That is a Battle Axe from Brazen Hall. It's a fest beer. Now, what is a fest beer? It is basically clean and golden, rich and biscuity, paired with just a touch of European hops. I would describe this as a more alcoholic lager. I know that's not like what it is, but that's what it tastes like to me. Like when I drink it, I feel like I'm just getting like a really nice Budweiser, which I think there's definitely a place for that in the world. And so, you drink it and you essentially just get this like feel of upper level, like a feel of improvement. And I don't want to say class, because it's like, if you look at it, it's called Battle Axe.
Little higher end, or
Yeah, it's like high end. That's a good way to put it. It's so I actually like it quite a bit. I'm going to give it one more sip and then drop a rating. Matt, can you please fill this with a random fact?
Yeah, so a battle axe is just a big axe that they used to swing and like try to kill people with.
Almost spit my beer back on the microphone. Thank you, Matt, for that fantastic fact. I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5. As you know, for me, that's a good score. That's a very good score.
For a Budweiser, that's a good score.
For a Budweiser, that's a good score. But it's like sweet and smooth. Like this is something, as I always like to say, that this is a beer pong beer for me. This is like 6.4%, and you play beer pong with this, and you're gonna have a good time. So that's my rating, 3.5%. Budweiser, a Battle Axe Budweiser. Matt, please take it away.
No, okay, me. Now, I went to Kilter. If we reviewed all the beers Kilter put out, we'd literally do a Kilter
They
review.
need to
every
relax. They need to
No, they
freaking
don't. They
relax.
had
No, they
another
don't.
one today, but I just
Yeah, I
couldn't.
didn't do
I
it.
couldn't.
I know.
I couldn't find the money to.
I couldn't do it
I have
because
all
of
their
what we're
other
going to
shit.
talk about in the beer review.
And I've had it 45,000 times. Like, what else am I going to buy? You know, it's like to make it worth the delivery of one can.
And they have to stop. They really need to stop producing small batch diabetes in a can.
Because it's so good. Every single
so
one.
good.
Every time
so
it's good. Every time it's good. I mean, I'm not
man.
mad at it. It's just I was able to not order it today because I was like, it's just okay. But I went to their double IPA that they dropped, the Vivid. 7.8% on the double IPA. Let's go.
Wow.
That's all I'm going to say there.
That's a lot.
And does it taste like 7.8%? God, no. It's a Kilter beer. So this is a bright, citrusy, fruity, just hoppy, but it's all so balanced. Double IPA. You get a little slight tartness from the tropical fruit, but more of a hop burn at the end. It's very, very smooth, very easy to drink. I feel like this is another Kilter beer that you could sit there, easily drink 4 of, and all of a sudden you're like, jeepers, I'm real drunk now.
I don't think I'd ever say jeepers, just as a side note.
I'd say it if I was real drunk.
I'm not fucking Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
He would drink this beer, though. I'm just saying.
He would, yeah.
Again, can is super fun to look at, like a pastel-y kind of, and just another great entry from Kilter. So Vivid, I'm going to give it Untapped. You can follow me at Gagne Matt. You can follow Jordan at JSco55.
Thanks, Matt.
Forgot to do it again. No problem. But you can follow me at Gagne Matt. Pat did the sniff. I gave this beer 4.25.
Wow, big number. Okay, so I will close it out here. I had the Country County Sour from TCB.
You got it right this time.
I had the Cranberry Orange Sour. Look, this is the County Sour series. There's not much left to talk about. It's a sour. This is good. I find the cranberry kind of overpowers the mandarin orange. You get the little citrusy notes a little bit, but I find it just tastes like a cranberry sour beer. So
I feel like that's a good thing, though.
Yeah, it is. And at the end, you get that tartness, and it's very cranberry. I love a good cranberry drink. I'm a big fan of that at Christmas time. This is a great Christmas drink, if you ask me. I wouldn't have more than 1 or 2 of these in a night. Just kind of would get tired of the flavor. You can follow me on Untapped at Pat Gagne. And on Untapped, I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5. And it's just a really good beer, and I would suggest picking it up. So to recap, Jordan had the Battle Axe from Brazen Hall. He gave it 3.5 on Untapped at JSco55. Matt had the Vivid from Kilter. He gave it a 4.25 at Gagne Matt with 2 T's. And I had the County Sour Series Cranberry Orange Sour 3.5 on Untapped. You can follow me at Pat Gagne and throw it over to Jordan for the Winnipeg Beer News of the Week.
Thank you, Patrick. Last week, we finished the beer news by telling you about something coming from Vessel, the Old Fashioned. Well, guess what? It is out, and it is a fruited rye ale aged on oak, oranges, cherries, and spices. Pat, I'm looking at you. That sounds like it's directly up your alley.
I have it in my fridge.
Oh, Matt, let me know. Awesome. Cranberry Philly Sour from Barn Hammer has come out. So they got cranberries in there. Who would have guessed? With orange juice and zest, cinnamon, and nutmeg. That's another brand new one out there. Vessel's also logging the Tiger Milkshake IPA. That's a small
that one as
batch, which is a hop forward citrus with licorice and vanilla. My Lord Jesus, I might have to get that on the way.
Have you heard of Tiger ice cream? That's what that is.
Yeah, that's what I got. So there's also like a Tiger that makes a great like malt liquor or malt beer and ginger beer. So if you're, for my many Jamaican listeners, that's for you. Sucrum's Brewing came out with the Retro Pale Ale, just a nice classic American pale ale. They got Cascade, Citra, and Columbus, so I'm sure that's going to be delicious. I am excited for this next one. I have it from a source who works at One Great City. As you know, we know some people. The beer is going to be the Cynical, which is a oatmeal brown ale with cinnamon and pecans. It sounds incredible.
Yeah, it sounds delicious.
Yes, Matt.
They announced that it came out today.
Oh,
so.
Good. I'm
So
glad.
2 days ago.
2 days ago. But I was told, quote, it's going to straight up blow your balls off. It's going to give Cuke a run for its money. That's a quote from someone I know at One Great City. I'm not going to say directly affiliated because I use the word balls and I don't know what their company policy is. But I will say that if that's what I'm hearing, then I'm psyched for it. And finally, got a little something that we're happy to announce. Matt, I'll cut this if I'm not supposed to. Sucrums is coming out with a small batch of the Nano IPA and the Black IPA. You've heard it here first, Tuesday at 6 p.m., but we got inside access because we're awesome. So Sucrum's very excited for that small batch. We don't know what's in it, but we do have enough pull in the city, and we're a big enough deal to be getting stuff ahead of time. So
You can also get the info if you sign up for the newsletter.
that's right.
Insider info from the newsletter.
Pat, that is the Winnipeg beer news of the week. Also, Kilter came out with something on Monday. It was a small batch release. What do you want from me at this point? I
Fudgio double chocolate
more,
stout.
like, what do you want me to buy? A T-shirt? Like, how many more times can I buy Juicy so I can make the delivery worth it? I don't just. I like what you guys are doing, but I can't get every single one. Yeah. So, Pat, back to you in the studio.
Oh, beautiful, Jordan. I like when you come prepared. Nice tight first segment
I'm
there,
glad
boys.
you said prepared.
Yeah, well. So we will be right back with some wet breads and some rocket ships from This Week in Wrestling.
This is dangerous, JR. This is real dangerous.
Super back. Welcome back. Welcome
Super
back.
back.
Welcome back. Great song.
Welcome.
So this is actually going to be our last wet bread and rocket ships of 2020.
Big if true.
Big day for the pod. And you got to double check. Math is correct. That is true. So it was a weird week again. I think there was a lot more positives than negatives. I'm going to start with.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it. Wrestling has been really good for the last 4 to 6 weeks.
We have gotten. I feel like we've gotten spoiled a little bit.
Yeah, I think they're kind of. Well, what's coming?
Royal Rumble,
Royal Rumble.
bitch.
WrestleMania season.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, that's
Just-
when they start
no.
kicking the butt.
Fuck WrestleMania. Royal Rumble, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's WrestleMania season.
I'm more excited for the Rumble's my favorite. My favorite
wrestling
pay-per-view of the
thing,
year.
period.
Yeah.
My favorite
Well,
wrestling
always
thing,
has been.
period.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, Royal Rumble is bar none. The match itself, whatever, everything else around it, the match is my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
Pat
is
just-
so good.
Told you, Pat. Told you.
Strathcona,
Strathcona.
Imperial Love Buzz Apple Pie Sour. Run, don't walk. Go get it.
That's the same company that made that blueberry pancake sour. Oh, Ben Roethlisberger touchdown. We're moving to the over. We're moving to the
Pat,
over.
what did you give it? What? I
give
can't
it
remember what you just gave.
I gave it a 3.5.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
I-
fair.
So I'll start it off this week. I'm gonna go with wet breads to start.
Oh, we're starting negative.
Good.
Good.
Let's go.
They're kind of. There is a damp bread. It wasn't totally wet. It was a little damp.
It's damp. It's a damp bread.
Now the first honorable mention I'm going to go with is the Acclaimed. They are a new tag team in AEW. I got them as kind of an honorable mention as wet bread, just because they rap.
Pat,
and I find-
stop.
What?
I'm gonna go first then. If this
Oh,
is this
okay.
an honorable mention?
Yeah, it is. Yes.
Okay, I'm
yes.
taking this over.
Okay.
This was I cringed so hard. I went from 6'2"
They're
to
cringy.
3'1". Okay, I
They are
cringed
cringy.
to half my size because first of all, you bring out what is just the biggest cringe of all time, which is these rapping guys. It is horrendous.
Okay. And first of all, let me jump in here. They can rap. They are allowed.
No,
they know how to,
no, they can't.
They
No,
can
they
rhyme
can't.
and
They
they
can
can
rap like
flow.
I can rap. Like
Okay.
they can rap like
Who
I
was the
can
last
rap.
rap gimmick? The
Cena.
last
It
rap.
was Cena. It was Cena.
And Cena was good.
No, Cena was passable for a white wrestler.
But okay, let's get one thing straight. I cringe
Fair
when
enough.
most people rap in general, just because it makes me
If you're not like a
uncomfortable.
professional, like if
Yeah,
that's
like,
not
it
your
makes me
job,
uncomfortable.
and even
Yeah.
some people who it is your job, you're like, don't know why you're famous, but that's still not the point.
Anyways, go ahead, Jordan.
Okay, so
Yeah.
first of all, you have these guys. Pat, what was the name of the group again?
The acclaim.
Okay, so they're acclaimed
The
for being
Acclaimed?
shitty rappers because it's horrible. And you know what? If I'm gonna bring them out, because there's a match I really want to watch, we might as well bring out like the sad white guy version of the Acclaimed, which is SCU. So it was
Yes.
horrible that not. First of all, those are the two having the match, so it's SCU and Acclaim. So I'm already like,
Which it wasn't a bad match though.
yeah, but I'm already watching like Christopher Daniels. Like the entrance is cringe for SCU.
But SCU could have a good match with a broomstick, I think.
The acclaimed could too. They're good workers.
My point is the entrances
Need to stop.
ended. I skipped the match out of protest for them making me listen to SCU.
That's-
So Christopher Daniels and his long ass stupid microphone and
terrible.
jacket, and
It's
then
bad.
the Acclaim.
That's why
rapping.
I have no idea if the Acclaim can wrestle because I did exactly
No,
what you did.
I just heard it. I've never grabbed my phone faster. Like they were maybe 10, 15 seconds into rapping. And then to top it all off, they showed them talking to the Young Bucks. And that is when I went, okay, that's
automatic.
the trifecta of like, of cringe wokeness. So that was my wet bread. And that, if you call that damp, it was like, no, it was
It's-
like someone took a
okay.
fucking power washer and
It's
sprayed Wonder
damp.
Bread with it.
For me, it was
horrible.
damp just because I'm like, okay, like I get cringy when people do that in general. So I was just like, in general, I wasn't too sure if anybody would agree with me.
As someone who enjoys, like, I do enjoy myself some big crit, some rust, some run the jewels. Just don't
You
do
just
it
said
if you're
word.
not supposed to do it.
That
You know what I'm
sounds like
saying?
rap groups for sure.
Don't do it if you're not supposed to do it.
Yeah.
That's it.
But yeah, so okay, then I'm gonna go to my actual wet bread, which is again a little damp because I don't really know where it's gonna go. I went with Hangman Adam Page with the Dark Order.
What?
I
Is
would
that
like,
your wet bread.
yeah,
I don't know
think-
what the point of it is.
I think they're moving towards. He's gonna have a feud with Brody Lee. I'd like to think that's where it's going.
Which I would really
Which
enjoy.
it does, but right now it doesn't fit for me. Is Colt Cabana still with them?
Who?
Colt Cabana?
Oh, I know. Where'd he go?
This is it, the Dark Order is such
He's
a
still
random
there.
thing. It's such a random thing. Like they're comedic, but then they're serious. I don't. it makes-
Anytime you can get me Adam Page and John Silver.
I think that's his name. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
forget.
Anytime you can get me Adam Page and John Silver on the screen at the same time, I feel like good stuff is going to happen. Something's going to happen that's going to be good.
You know,
Yeah,
we
but I
give
don't-
WWE shit for forgetting storylines. AEW's done that a few times
Yeah.
now. Like I think of Hangman and Kenny getting teased for like being
Yeah.
something more than it is. I think of the Dark Order numerous times. Like the Colt Cabana thing fell off the map. They randomly have like Matt,
Brandy Rhodes had the she was a heel stable for a little bit. That
yeah,
went
Matt
nowhere.
Hardy slowly turning heel.
Yeah,
it
there's a lot.
seems.
It feels like there's a lot of ambiguity,
I
a
mean,
lot
the
of weird
Sting,
stuff going on.
Sting is bipolar. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck is going on
So
with
yeah,
him. this
that's
week either,
I don't have much else to say about it. It just as for me, Hangman Page with the Dark Order doesn't really for me. It's not awful. It's little damp bread, so I wasn't into it. And that finishes out.
Okay. So I had one and then Sunday happened. So I changed it.
Oh, new wet bread. All right.
So I changed it because my original wet bread would be a contradiction of the rocket ship that's about to come. But I'm going to go with Asuka and Charlotte.
Yeah.
So
I
you
can
bring
see that.
Charlotte back, which I'm all for. Bring Charlotte back. She elevates the tag
And
division.
she looked
Or not the
great.
tag division, the women's.
She looked like
Yeah.
she's gonna take on the world.
Yeah. And honestly, her and Asuka, give me that every day and twice on Sunday.
Yeah, I want that Rhea Ripley rematch.
Well,
Just give it
and
to
that's
me.
but that's what I mean. That's coming. So yes, absolutely, bring Charlotte back. That I'm all for that. But why did they have to win the tag belts?
Yeah, that's again. We went back to this a couple months ago. It was, why does the champion need to win or be in a program for the tag belts in the women's division? It doesn't make any sense. You don't do
The
that with
golden
men.
role models made sense when it was
Yeah,
Bailey
that was
and
to further
Sasha.
storyline.
That made more sense. This made absolutely no sense. I'm actually watching it right now again. So it just it made no sense to me.
It just
So Charlotte can turn on Asuka and turn heel because Charlotte can't be a face. Let's get real here.
She just
She cannot
shouldn't
be a
be.
face.
Like,
I
she's
think-
so
I think
much
she
better
should
when
never be
she's
a face.
not.
Yeah, I think she's going to come back and she's going to play that card, and then she's going to turn heel, and Andrade is going to come back because there's talks that they could come back and be a thing together, which would be
Which
highly
would be
entertaining.
great.
It'd be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was with you, Matt. I didn't want to make it my wet bread. It's just because I figured someone else would grab it. But yeah, it didn't make much sense to me.
And the only reason I made it my wet bread is because this is where WWE loses me sometimes. They go back to the well.
Yeah.
Stop. They use their women's tag belts, which could be a legit thing because it's the only belt that can go cross brand. They use it as this storyline piece as opposed to making it its own story,
Mm-hmm.
which I think would be great. And yeah, it kind of infuriated me a little bit when I saw it. So that was my wet bread.
All right, and Jordan, because you took the lead on the first one, tell us your rocket ship of the week, my man.
This was tough. There actually wasn't too many things that
Oh, really?
really
I liked a lot
not
of
that
things.
really popped out to me. Like, I think
It
there was a
just
bunch of
solid
stuff.
week.
Yeah, it was a solid week. Like, but usually the thing that I take is really something that made me pop, and I don't think there was anything like that really happened. I think the closest thing was seeing Charlotte come back, but then I didn't like her winning the title, so that kind of soured it. So I'm going to take the thing that I didn't like pop for it as hard as I thought I would, but I enjoyed it the most. Dunn and O'Reilly happened.
They kicked
Dunn
the
and
shit out of
O'Reilly
them.
was awesome.
Yeah.
I think it was more the fact that they did exactly what I expected them to do, and it wasn't a rocket ship because it's almost like I already geeked out on Dunn and O'Reilly the week before, right? Like, I knew it was going to be good and it met my expectations, so it wasn't something that surprised me.
O'Reilly to win though, and he did.
No, and he did. You know what? To be honest, too, like, something that really has me intrigued, probably the most in wrestling right now, is this evil Yakuza thing
Yeah,
on
what's
NXT.
going on with that?
I
Kinda freaks
can't
me
pick
out.
it every week, but if I'm being honest about the thing that every week, I'm like, okay, can you just show me who? I hope what it isn't is they're just toughening up these two people. Like, I hope
Yeah.
there's the person, they sign someone that they're going to introduce. But that's my rocket ship is O'Reilly done. It was going to be good, and it was. And then my real rocket ship is that evil Yakuza order angle thing. But yeah, Pat, over to you, sir.
Now, a couple honorable mentions to start. First off,
Okay, well, if you're not last, you can't do honorable mentions.
hang on.
You're
This
gonna
is
take everybody's rocket
I'm not.
ships.
You won't
I
take
like
this
how
one.
the captain of honorable mentions is putting his foot down.
Captain
on
honorable mention is you can't do that.
I only do honorable
Matt, if
mentions
your
when I'm
thing
last.
comes up, tell Pat to stop.
Yeah.
Like
So
I did.
Matt, this isn't going to come up. So everybody on the commentary team on AEW was wearing AEW vests. Straight fire, the best vests. I want an AEW vest so bad, and the fact that they had to wear one in Florida was a little weird because, again, is it cold there? I don't understand. Is it cold in Florida, Matt?
It was
Florida.
7 degrees the night they had heaters, so I feel like it is a good
7
chilly enough
degrees
for
in Florida
vests.
would be cold.
Because I'm not the last one, I won't do another honorable mention. I'll come back to it if Matt doesn't name it.
Do it, coward.
Do it.
Okay. It was
Do it.
I believe his name is Amos, AJ Styles bodyguard.
Oh, you almost had it.
Yeah. What is it?
I don't know what it is. That's just that joke was right there. And I know what you're going to say,
Amos?
and you're right. This was
The chair shot to his
Hilarious.
back was amazing.
total
And
gimmick
they
chair.
are building this guy like a beast, and I can't wait to see where it goes. I hope he's not extremely horrible at working, but I think there's something there. But my real rocket ship of the week, The Miz's unsuccessful cash-in of Money in the Bank. And the reason I say
You had
that
to know
it's not
this
because
was
I don't.
coming.
It's not because I don't like the Miz. It's not because I don't like the Miz. I think the Miz has been doing very good work the last year or so. But I like at the start, I the first couple times they cashed in Money in the Bank and everybody won, I was like, oh, that's awesome. Big pops, Dolph Ziggler, Edge, CM Punk. Those were great moments. And then it started to become shit. So if you win this, automatically you win it. And then a couple guys were sprinkled in that they wouldn't win. But I looked at the last few. It has not been an outright winner of a cash-in about 5 cash-ins, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think the last one was Rollins, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think I might like
No,
legit,
Brock.
like straight up.
Brock
Oh yeah,
cashed in.
when he had the boombox thing,
Yeah.
isn't that that was the gimmick?
So yeah, the Brock party.
The Brock party, right? That sounds pretty funny.
So
But
good.
I think what this does is it makes it for the next one who wins the Money in the Bank. It's like, okay, are they going to win? This Money in the Bank was a total clusterfuck. It was a failed experiment with Otis. They didn't know what to do.
I
with
think
that.
it was failed because there was no fans.
Yeah, I think Otis would have got over if there was fans. But the Miz being there, it doesn't hurt the Miz to lose the Money in the Bank to lose the cash in. It worked for the
100%.
match. But I just like that the next person who wins it, I'm be like, I have no idea if this person's gonna cash it in and successfully. And maybe it'll lead to someone being, I don't want anybody ruining my shot. I'm cashing it in. I'm telling you, and it's gonna be in like a Hell in a Cell or a cage where nobody can interrupt the match. And it adds that extra little layer to it, and I think that's kind of cool. So that was my rocket ship of the week. The Miz unsuccessful Money in the Bank cash in. Matt, finish this out.
I'm gonna give a couple honorable mentions.
I'm sure you
Shocking.
are. I'm sure you are.
Shocking.
So TLC happened on Sunday, happened yesterday, happened 2 days ago 3 days ago for those of you listening.
Yep, you're
to
right.
this.
3 days ago.
There was a lot of good stuff on this show. And before I even get into the good stuff, the honorable mentions, I just want to say, I want to ask you guys, if you took, how many AEW pay-per-views were there? 4 this year?
Something like that, yeah.
3, 4? If you took, let's call it 4. If you took the 4 best WWE pay-per-views and put them against the 4 best AEW pay-per-views, whose are better? Because in my opinion, I think WWE's are better.
WWE. I think AEW has really, they hyped up every pay-per-view the way they should have, but then none of them delivered like they should have. So
Yeah,
I think that's,
and I totally agree.
Yeah.
And TLC was another sleeper. I didn't think it was going to be very good, and it ended up being pretty decent. So first of all, these are honorable mentions. Hurt Business, New Day gives another tag team the rub. I think Hurt Business winning makes a lot of sense. Really like to see it.
I can't wait for the New Day to win the tag belts in another month.
If it makes sense, I'm all for it.
Well, they have to. You know, it's important that they do.
Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton wasn't a great match, but the visuals in that match and just the storytelling in that match.
Lit him on fire.
Yeah.
The Bray was on fire.
I read online today that's the 4th time murder was committed in a WWE pay-per-view.
That's amazing. He was dead. And the best part was I was watching it and Rand was downstairs and she's like, that's fake. I'm like, duh.
I hope it is. I really hope it is.
Can you imagine?
I hope
Like
he's
anyone
not
online
acting
who's
like
like, that's so fake. It's like, fake. Yeah.
Duh.
Fucking
Come
right. It
on. I hope it's fucking
But-
fake.
is. That's so funny.
It just
That's
ends
too
another
funny,
good year,
honestly.
but from
Oh god.
honestly, this is probably one of the best years Randy Orton has had, in my opinion, for just overall quality. He's always been like kind of like a cusp guy, like he's right on the edge. I thought he was really good this year. My rocket ship is, so you are a dual branded company. When you're a dual branded company and both your champs from each brand can go out and have a 1A, 1B match of the night, I mean, you're in pretty good shape.
You don't want to jinx it, but they got their 2 stars that they need.
You
Yeah,
have
ever.
McIntyre, who's an absolute stud. If you're going to drop a pro wrestler, you probably drop Drew McIntyre
Mhm.
as far as baby faces go. And then you have Roman Reigns, who has, dare I say, generational type talent. And it's finally being realized.
He's gonna be
He's up around-
he's gonna be Cena. He's gonna be Cena of our generation.
He's up around the Cena, the Rocks, the Hogans, the Austins.
Well, when he's done, he's not there yet. When he's
No,
done.
but I'm saying he's elevated himself to that conversation.
Sure, I believe that.
And I just watched the whole McIntyre match, and I was like, wow, that was a really, really good match. And I watched the Reigns match last night. I fast forwarded. I watched it last night, and I was like, wow, how is the McIntyre match going to top this? The McIntyre match is just as good. Reigns tells better stories. McIntyre has better wrestling matches.
I would say
That's
so.
what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And honestly, WWE, just keep the
Go.
belts on these guys.
Yeah.
Just keep them on.
There's no reason to take it off them before WrestleMania. Either one of them, honestly.
Oh no, because honestly, I think you're perfect for Royal Rumble if you got guys that could have great matches with those guys.
I would love nothing more if I was a wrestler to be a transitional champion.
Why?
Because I think it shows that you have staying power. Like it shows that if the water is warm, that you can come in and hold the boat.
Yeah.
And I think it would be cool to put over hot talent. Like I think it would be cool to be.
It would be super. Yeah.
I think that'd be more fun as a wrestler, like to be if you're hot and then you can fall away. But I think if you're someone who can stay there and always theoretically be champion, I think that's actually cooler. And like you being able to put guys over.
Yeah, it's Kevin Owens, AJ Styles.
I would say that's like like Triple H is like who I think of right away. Is like the best, my favorite transitional champion where it was like anytime they needed a guy, it's like, hey Trip, can you hold this for 2 months? And then off you go.
One last honorable mention. It would behoove us not to mention her. Britt Baker heel work last week with Thunder Rosa, grabbing her and taking the water and just rubbing off the face paint of Thunder Rosa. Subtle.
So good.
She's so good. Why isn't she the champion? No idea.
Why?
Oh, it's
because Sheeta.
Abaddon.
It's the same reason Io Shirai is still champion.
Jordan Abaddon.
Yes.
I can't figure out why, but I think they really are trying to gear up. I feel like they're really trying to take NXT Japan. Like they've been trying to launch it for a while and they can't buy a company to really spool it open.
Yeah.
But hopefully at some point they can do it. And
it's the next logical step for him, right?
Well, and before we move on to the next segment, going back to NXT is talking about having a minor league system that would be on the WWE network.
Well, that's
for
Evolve.
NXT.
That's what Evolve used to be.
Yeah, they would take Evolve and basically put it on the network.
Yeah,
I'm down for that. That'd be cool.
Hey, you got to make your own talent, and that's the way they do it, right? So
yeah.
All right, so hey. Another nice tight segment, guys. We're getting the hang of this.
Keeping it moving.
After 30 weeks of the show, we're getting the hang of it.
29. We're not even at
29 and 1 week of hiatus for another podcast.
Right. There was another podcast that invaded our airways.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't count that one?
No, why would we count it? We didn't do it.
It wasn't us.
Oh, right.
Fuck.
God.
It was that left handsome Matt that did it.
Yes. All right. So we'll be right back with a retro review of NXT Brooklyn 2015.
Oh, Michael, this is going to be fun to watch.
One last back.
Language jokes.
One last back. We back. Hey, Matt.
Hey, back.
What's up?
Duties. Anyways, I've been doing that enough lately. Got to bring that shit back. So yeah,
do you?
This is our last retro review of 2020. See ya. Put it in the dust. See you later. And we did this one for a very special reason.
Do you know?
Interrupt.
What, Matt? You gonna let him fucking talk or what?
Okay, go.
We did this for a very specific reason. That reason being, we would like our friend Jordan to be very engaged, and we think with this pay-per-view, he will be quite engaged.
Yeah, they can't. You guys get so upset if I just lean back and let you talk on the retro review. You're like, hey, Jordan, we like it better when you're engaged.
Jordan, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I like it when you shut the fuck up. Matt likes it when you're engaged. So we're gonna do a little in between here. I think you have some good things to say. So without further ado, for the last time in 2020, Matthew Gagne with 1T. Dial it up, dumbass.
I just want to say I'm really excited for the January retro reviews because that will be Royal Rumbles, and I mean Royal Rumbles are sick. So
Rumbles, a Royal Rumble isn't a thing. A Royal Rumble is cool.
I burped at the same time that I said Rumble.
So. Don't worry, Matt. Jordan's eating something while we record, so
you can't hear it. It's a weenie stick and queso.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
That's a game changer.
I live like a fucking king, bro. That's the name of this episode, Weenie Sticks and Queso. There it is.
Absolutely.
Living like a king. Living like a king.
We'll see. I'll decide.
You can literally dip anything in queso and it'd be good.
Right?
True story.
I made a Philly cheesesteak last night with queso.
Oh wow.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. You look on if you could still probably catch it on my Instagram if it's not gone already.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yeah, Philly cheesesteak with queso and homemade fries covered with queso and veggies.
And veggies, you gotta get the veggies in there.
Well, it's a cheesesteak. I have leftover peppers. You know what I'm saying? What do you want from me?
What am I doing right now?
You're diet up, dumbass.
Oh yeah. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. This happened on August 22nd, 2015.
Where did it happen?
You want to let me finish?
Was it in Brooklyn?
From the Barclays Center in
No way!
wait for it, Brooklyn, New York.
Oh,
Concrete
they sold-
jungle where dreams are made of.
They sold out the Barclays Center. They had 15,589 fans
Better
in
than
there.
the Islanders.
And that arena has never seen that many people. The Nets suck. The Islanders suck. And also, this was the first time NXT was put on an event, like a televised event, not in Full Sail Arena.
Thank God. Imagine if they hadn't done that.
Yeah.
All the great takeover arena moments.
Oh, man.
Now, this
Arena
night
moment.
starts off with Triple H standing in the ring, and if you want to run through a wall, you listen to Triple H because he will get you to run through a wall.
Now, when Triple H talks, do you want to run through A, one wall, B, two walls, C, all of the walls?
All of the walls. No walls
Yeah.
would be standing.
I want to hit
No,
it with a
there would be-
sledgehammer.
Yeah.
You don't even need a sledgehammer. Triple H just needs to talk.
So this whole night was interesting because it's not that far away. It's only 7 years old. No, math.
5 years
years.
old?
Whoa.
I know this year's felt like 2, Pat, but
So you have the nice advantage of some fun hindsight because I feel like you could use a lot of hindsight on a lot of these guys and a lot of these matches. The first match being the first one you use some hindsight. You have a showcase match. You have Tyler Breeze, who, let's get one thing straight, was the shit in NXT.
He still is the shit.
and is still arguably one of the 10 best workers in the company.
Yeah. And
Canadian,
gonna-
baby.
he'll be a great trainer one day, I think.
Already
If
is.
he's not already doing that. If he's already doing that.
Yeah,
All right.
him and not important. Keep going. Sorry.
And now he is facing in the showcase match to lead off the night, Jushin Thunder Liger. This is the point where I point to Jordan and say, "Who the fuck that?"
Do you know who
I know who he is, but I know nothing
Oh my
about
God,
him.
my eyes almost jumped out of my head. Basically, he was a Japanese pro wrestler. And
Thank you.
Yeah, like he's, I mean, I know, I don't know how else to describe him. Like he was just a mainstay in the Japanese wrestling scene for years. Like he was basically in New Japan from 1987 through like 2020 and like multiple different like
Yeah, he
weight
just
classes.
retired, right? He
Just retired. He was in WCW for 2 spans. Like that guy is literally he has been in Ring of Honor, TNA. He was also a Lucha Libre. So what was cool about Liger is he grew up I think he grew up in Japan, but he aspired and trained as a Mexican wrestler, which created this really interesting fusion. So
Yeah, he's super cool
he
to
wasn't
watch. Like,
really himself in the WWE. Like if you really want to watch cool Liger shit, I would say WCW 95 to 99 and then New Japan greatest hits.
yeah, no,
There you
it's
go,
just,
Pat. I was trying to describe him in a good
Thank you.
way. Yes.
I appreciate it. No, and I think Tyler Breeze was the perfect guy to go against him. Same kind of size, same kind of style. They could work well together.
And sells like a mofo.
Yeah, but you know what? I watch Tyler Breeze now and I watch him then, and it's pretty easy to dissect why he's not a bigger deal. He's small. He's kind of generic.
Yeah.
And
His gimmick was good, but it does not translate.
doesn't translate to the main roster at all.
I think the best
No.
he can be is funny. Which
Yeah,
I
that's
think,
like
you
the
know-
pinnacle.
You know what? I see him and I think like Diet Lance Storm.
Mhm.
That's what I think.
I don't know about Diet. I think he's Lance Storm
Little
if
more
Lance
charisma.
was funny. He's Lance with charisma.
But it blew me away. The whole match blew me away because this is the first time Liger was in a WWE ring, and it was in
The only
NXT. The only time
Only
he was
time.
in NXT. I feel like that's a miss for some reason, but all right.
Well, he didn't really translate. Like it wasn't. Well, no. So he was in a WWE. Okay. Well, he was in a WWE. Like he was there in 1990 and 2015.
Yeah, 90 was a short.
90 was
stint,
both were short. Like he just never really fit in with what they wanted.
And you could tell that.
Yeah.
When he was in WCW, I feel like we're just talking about, which is probably why
I
this.
feel like we're just
was a
talking
good
about
match.
Justin Liger, but
Which is
that's
fine.
fine. I can
Yeah.
do that. I can do that all day.
When he was in WCW, the only reason he kept coming back to WCW is because they allowed him to go to
Back
Japan,
and forth, yeah.
do
Yeah.
his tours in Japan, and then come back. And he'd wrestle in the cruiserweight division, and he had some great. I remember watching him and thinking,
So
he was cool.
they worked him with like Benoit, Pillman, Malenko, Mysterio,
guys, yeah.
Juventud, like the guys. you'd
Ultimo
expect.
Dragon.
Ultimo
Yeah.
Dragon. He like Psychosis. Like he pretty much helped like keep that cruiserweight division popping.
And then you look at him though, he's like so unique looking. Like he kind of he's got that Japanese style, but he looks like lucha libre, and he is as
Charisma
wide
through
as
the
he is
butt.
tall. He looks like a fridge.
He also, I feel like he was a little slower than when I remember watching him in WCW. Obviously,
Like and the match was a showcase match. Was it great? No. Was it okay? It was
wasn't
passable.
very good.
No,
Wasn't very
and
good.
I remember just seeing highlights of it because I missed it for some reason. You see the highlights; they really amped up the pace in the highlights. Like it was the greatest match of all time.
It was a good spot match.
Yeah.
I remember watching it and being like, at the time, not realizing it was a spot match, but it was like not as bad as today, but it was very much like standard work. Oh, standard work, standard work.
So at the end of the day, I didn't. Matt, who won? I didn't circle who won. Was it Jushin?
Liger won.
Liger won.
Liger won. Meltzer, probably a big Liger fan.
6.5 out of 5.
He gave it a 2 out of 5. I gave it slightly above that. I gave it a 2.1 out of 5.
You gave it above that. Wow,
I did.
we flipped roles here. I think.
Okay. What'd you give it?
I gave it. Somebody scored in the football game. Jordan's arm.
It's 24-10 Bengals. If you had told me taking the over that I would be getting close at 24-10 Bengals, I would have called you drunk. But here I'm
well,
taking
Jordan,
it.
let me tell you.
Just need one touchdown and I'm good.
Yeah, I gave it a 1. I thought it was
Didn't
blah.
care for it.
I thought it was ho hum. I mean,
thought there was enough
I watched
spots.
the whole thing. I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because I was drawn to Liger, but the match as a whole, like it finished, and I was like, "What happened?" I don't even know what happened.
I think there was
in that
enough
match.
good spots to get a high enough grade from me. That's like if you can kind of every once in a while in that match, I was like, oh, if I can get that, you're gonna get it 2 or a little higher.
Sure.
The next match, this is a match that made no fucking sense. It was the champs Blake and Murphy with Alexa Bliss
Let's go.
against the Vaudevillains. Forgot they were a thing. With the surprise emergence of Blue Pants. What the fuck is that?
Who's the What's her name in?
Blue Pants is
AEW?
the librarian in AEW right
Yeah,
now.
the librarian in AEW.
And now,
No
and
idea.
Pat, now I will take your follow-up question. Who the fuck is the librarian in AEW? Well, that's Leva Bates.
Okay.
Do you remember?
Now-
Don't you remember on Cody a little bit on social media? It was like there was a campaign to get her in because they were like looking for. It was kind of funny. Like they were kind of saying, "Well, we got a dentist. Like, could we get a librarian?"
Yeah.
And
yeah.
she was like, "I'll be your librarian." So
Okay. Yeah, just I'm not gonna lie. Took me about 10 minutes into this match to realize it wasn't a triple threat 3-on-3 tag match.
yeah, because they were all just fucking.
They're all over the place.
You know what? You know what blew me away here?
hmm
2 things. Number 1, the pop the Vaudevillains got.
Never got it. I didn't get it. I always hated them.
I-
Never understood it.
Love the Vaudevillains. As
They
you
were-
guys know,
They were an
had
interesting gimmick.
I had a running joke about how much I loved the mustaches in the old timey gimmick. I thought it was hilarious. I loved it.
Talk about a
Um,
gimmick that's not going to translate to the main roster though.
Yeah,
Fucking
but-
Simon Gotch and Aiden English, man. Those are 2 good wrestlers.
The names were awesome. The other thing that I found really interesting about this is you watch this, and really, Alexa Bliss, her mic work was terrible, FYI.
Yeah.
But if you look at the 6 people that were
Yeah.
involved in this match, Alexa Bliss was the only one that
Oh yeah.
had the potential to be a top star. Like just based on look and based on what WWE likes.
I mean, you say I didn't get the Vaudevillains, but I was also the guy who was a big Enzo and Cass guy, so my credibility is fucked. So like, let's
But
get
they were
one thing.
cool.
Yeah, and like I thought it was a 3-on-3 match, but then I realized the tag belts were on the line. I mean, whatever. I mean, the Vaudevillains ended up winning. That crowd erupted when they won.
Yeah, they were really, really excited.
Arguably the biggest pop of the night, honest to God.
Because
Yeah.
that's a team where I think if they were in NXT in 2018,
Mm.
would have had
Yes.
a different run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like they were almost a little too early. Like the NXT of 2018, like can I imagine those guys? Like, you know how I say I kind of hate the gimmicky, jokey wrestling? I say that, and then I imagine the vaudevillains going against Breezango
Yeah.
at their top, and I imagine laughing for 2 months straight.
Yeah, but I felt like it was like that NXT in this incarnation was like kind of the birthplace of the gimmicky tag team. Like the Ascension was over as fuck in
Yeah.
NXT.
So
And then
was
nothing.
the Viking Raiders.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
weird, like and the vaudevillains, like I
AOP,
said,
like now
yeah.
I'm just thinking about, and there's no real tag teams right now. Who I think
AOP,
are
how
over.
weren't they a bigger thing?
But I think like it's funny because actually NXT's kind of dropped out of having that gimmicky tag team right now. If like you look at who their tag teams are, it's like they threw together Drake and what's his
Killian.
name?
Yeah.
Even Everride doesn't really have a gimmick. Neither does
The Grizzled Young
Imperium.
Veterans.
Grizzled Young Veterans don't really either. Like not like a true gimmick. Like it's not
Yeah.
like, hey, we're fucking
They're-
garbage, man.
Yeah.
You
they're,
know,
they're,
like
they're a tag team with a name. That's all they are.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that being said, I love the Grizzled Young Veterans. I can't
They're
remember the
awesome.
guy's name, but the guy who does most of the talking, I think he's fantastic.
The bald guy?
Oh, when
Yeah.
he talks, and the way he says Grizzled Young Veterans makes me want to punch someone in the face. It's the most fucking awesome. I can't even do it justice. I'm not even going to do it. I love it though.
So the vaudevillains win. They win the tag belts. Meltzer gives us a 2.25 out of 5. I gave it a little more credit than I thought I did. I gave it a 2.4 out of 5.
I forgot I watched this, so I can rate it, right?
Sure.
Yep.
The first match I gave a 1.5. I agree with what Matt said before completely. I think that's why I forgot to score it because Matt said it. And I just kept nodding. And then this match, I also agree with Pat that I thought it was better and I thought the pop was sick. So I actually gave it, in my head, to my memory, I gave it a like pretty good. So for me, that's like a 2.75. Like I enjoyed it. I didn't hate it. So
And
What'd you give it?
I gave it a 2. It was pretty generic. It went by quick though. Like again, I watched the whole thing. I was never bored, but it's kind of generic. Didn't really like the finish. Didn't really like the involvement of the two ladies. It was another match that I was like, meh.
I feel like looking back, I'd be more critical. But at the time, I remember all the
Yeah.
like all the action and everybody getting in there as being like, holy fucking shit, what is going on? By the way, we need more tornado tag matches. That has like died.
No, we don't. No, because that's every Young Buck match.
Yeah, but just why not just make it an actual
No.
tornado tag
I said
match?
no.
Okay,
I
I'm
said
sorry,
no.
pal. Okay, fuck, fine, never mind.
Okay, moving on.
Hold on. I officially rescind my statement.
No, Jordan.
Uh,
Jordan, own it.
Next match.
I literally died on that hill. I'm not dying on that hill. I got to the top and Pat just like beat me to death with a bayonet. Stabbed me to death.
So next match is a tale of two guys who just couldn't get over when they moved up. Ty Dillinger, the perfect 10.
How did he
against
get that
Philip
gimmick
Cruz.
over?
He's still
I'm
not
gonna tell you,
over in AEW. How
but
is
the
he
thing
not
was-
being used
The thing
more?
was, when he was in NXT, that shit was over.
Yeah. Not now. Not on this card.
Yeah, it was.
Eh,
yeah.
Not as much. Not as much
Oh,
as
it got
later on.
better. Yeah, I'll agree with that. And then Apollo Crews came in with like all this hype. I think that was he was in that documentary where they just talked about NXT and
Proving ground or something like that.
Proving Ground or something like that. And Triple H was really mentoring him and helping him with his finisher and stuff. And I think that endeared him to people. But again, it was just like these guys were getting so over in NXT. You bring him here. Dillinger's not even in WWE anymore. He's being underutilized, I guess, in AEW.
I agree with Jordan. I think he has star written all over him. and
Oh,
they're
for
just
sure.
kinda-
He's got a look. He can work. He's great. Canadian.
and they just got him in the mid card right now. Kind of.
Apollo Crews screams AEW, but even then, he's so fucking white bread.
Lumbar check. That's the only reason I like Apollo.
No.
No, that's
that's
not even
him.
him.
Oh,
Oh, never
even him.
mind. Fuck. Never mind. I hate him.
What is Apollo Cruz's finisher? He doesn't use his finisher in this.
I don't know.
He throws wet bread at people.
I just remember
Exactly.
seeing this and remembering being so hyped for Apollo Crews. I thought he was the next big thing, and then he started talking, and it was like, oh, you're super fucking boring.
Reminds me of Ricochet.
Him and Ricochet would be better on AEW, but I don't know how they would package.
How
them.
are him and Ricochet that different from Evan Bourne?
No, okay. Here's the thing with Ricochet.
True.
Okay, we're gonna go.
Let's talk about it.
No, we're going on a sidebar here.
Does Ricochet doesn't die trying to do a shooting star press? Probably.
Ricochet is a guy that if you just let him go and wrestle every week, he would get over in space. He's already over, and they don't let him wrestle every week.
Make him your showcase match every week, and I'd watch it.
Let him just have a wrestling match for.
Is there any reason
minutes.
why that guy shouldn't just start the show every week?
Right?
Just be like, hey, it's Monday night. Here's your obligatory Ricochet match.
Yeah, set the pace.
Here's a 7-minute Ricochet match where he does 9 things. You're like, holy shit, and then move on to your promo.
Yeah, like because tell me, like, you got people coming into the arena, right? Or people going to their TV. If they know Ricochet is the first match, are you late to your seat?
No.
I'm there from the beginning.
He's a human video game.
Pretty easy to me. It doesn't seem too complicated to me.
And these two guys showed what potentially, like, if you led the night off with these two guys, I wouldn't complain. They can work.
I think
Chris
Sean
clean
Spears,
entertainer.
Ty Dillinger, he ended up being that gatekeeper in NXT.
Yeah.
He kind of got pigeonholed by the gimmick.
And
he's a good worker.
To get out of that.
They'd bring in guys. They'd be like, "Hey, go wrestle Ty for an opener on a takeover."
He'll get you over.
Yeah.
So Meltzer gives it 1.5 out of 5. I gave it just above that. I gave it a 1.6 out of 5. Jordan and Matt, what'd you give it?
The standing moonsault finish. Blah. Yeah. That's all I thought in my head. 0.5.
I gave it.
It wasn't good.
I remember thinking it was my least favorite match on the card. So based off that ranking, I'll give it a 1.
Yeah.
I don't go as low as you guys, but I also probably won't go as high.
There was a rest move in this match, guys. Come on, it was a 4-minute match, and there was a rest move.
I know, but like I gave it a 1 just because of like it got docked, or I guess I probably should have went lower. Ty Dillinger losing, also I didn't like.
They were trying to get Apollo.
I know.
But
but I wasn't reviewing it then. Remember?
Right.
Matt? What Pat? Sorry. What Pat? Don't side eye me.
Match.
I'll fucking reach through the screen and bitch slap you.
Oh, don't start.
Fuck.
Next match we have Baron Corbin against Samoa Joe.
Even early Baron Corbin, his ability to be just a guy you hate is unbelievable.
Well, I hated him because he kept some hair scraps going, which was annoying. And the fact that they never let him ride a motorcycle to the ring was very upsetting. Like, you have this.
But then he'd be cool. You don't want him to be cool.
Well, you know what the worst part was? You know what? He looked in the mirror. He went in the mirror every day, looked at himself and was like, yeah, that's some sick hair. I look good. And he went out and wrestled like that every time.
Pat, you don't ever watch the promos and stuff, right? You just cut right to the match?
No, I watched the whole thing. I watched this whole thing.
Okay, so this one, Baron Corbin says, I played in the NFL. I played college. I was jiu-jitsu champ, a boxing champ. I simply made a phone call. Then Samoa Joe comes back in the package and says, you made a phone call? They called me. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
Samoa Joe, Samoa Joe is just that guy. He's just like, I don't know. He looks tough as nails. Nothing really to him. This match was the tale of two guys who don't look like they work out.
Great question. Where'd Samoa go?
He's on commentary still.
And he's good at it.
Yeah, I think he's nursing an injury still.
Okay, I was just checking because I guess I don't really watch the shows and I haven't seen him on a highlight pack. But that makes sense.
I'm waiting for him to come back. I'm excited for him to come back. I think he's entertaining as hell every time.
Mm-hmm.
As this whole match was stiff as hell. They beat the shit out of each other.
They did. It was Joe kind of going, hey Baron,
let's go, kid.
I'm gonna hit you, and if you complain, you're done.
Baron can take that shit. That guy was a motherfucker in the NFL.
Yeah.
Oh, and I don't care what anybody says about Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin is a very, very, very good pro wrestler.
That's a lot of varies for Baron. I mean, I'd say he's a good. He fits what they need.
You know what pisses me off about every?
You can fit wherever you want.
You know what pisses me off about every Samoa Joe match though? He's stiff. Everything's hard hitting, and then his Kakina clutch, which is a weak ass sleeper. A weak ass sleeper wins a match every time.
You want to talk about someone who's like that?
I got a question.
Hi, Karrion Kross. How are you?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Why not?
So, guys, all these chokeholds now that they do, they just like call the match. But if you do a sleeper,
Hey, raise your
They
arm.
do the 3 arm raises.
The chokeholds are the dumbest
They're the worst.
finishers in wrestling. The dumbest finishers because
Carrying cross
anyone with
needs a
2
high
brain
impact
cells, anyone with 2 brain cells can see that isn't going to put anyone out. Because I think almost everyone at their life at some point has been in a headlock. And so there's like some recollection. You're like, yeah, it's uncomfortable. But like I didn't pass out. Right.
No.
Like, and like half of them now are so dumb. Like, I'm pretty sure Samoa Joe's, doesn't he like trap the arm and then have one arm across? Like,
Yeah,
you're not
it's
choking
terrible.
anyone out with one
No.
arm.
Just move his arm.
So
Yeah, because it
Let's
makes
go
the people
down-
getting choked
let's
look
do
like
another sidebar
idiots.
here. Is Tyrion Cross on a different level if he has a better finish?
Yes.
Oh, I think that's the only thing holding him back right now is
I
his
think when
finisher
Vince-
is terrible.
And when Vince sees that finisher and he comes up to the main roster, he's like, no, nay, we changed the shit out of that.
Like, think about the finishers. Like, Roman has like, I think the best finisher, my favorite one to watch in wrestling is the Claymore. I think every time Drew shoots
Well,
it, it looks like
devastating.
he looks like he's taking someone's block off. And I think like you could just give Karrion Kross a wicked clothesline. I feel like even that would be fine for him.
Clothesline
Right?
from hell. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to think of what else you could do with him, but like some sort of like clothesline. Like that guy screams Judas
A
effect to
ripcord
me.
clothesline.
Some with an elbow.
Or
Some
yeah,
with a
the
devastating
elbow.
Yeah.
Elbow, the Judas effect, I bet would be awesome with him. But anyway,
but
something
yeah,
like that.
Samoa Joe wins, and Meltzer apparently has a hard on for this match, and gives it a 3 3/4 stars out of 5.
No,
This
2
was
3/4. 2
2
and
3/4. Sorry, I'm sorry. This was my least favorite match on the card. I gave it a
Really?
1.2 out of 5.
I enjoyed the stiffness of it, as you can imagine.
Mhm.
Like that did appeal to me, so I gave it a 2.5. It was middle of the range.
I gave it a 2. I ranked it with that Vaudevillains match. It was entertaining enough, but didn't blow me away.
They do this big lead up to Sasha and Bailey, and then they said this is the first time women will be main eventing. They are the main event, but then you put them on second last. I'm sorry, I am the guy. A main event is your last match.
Agreed.
Sorry.
Over, bitches.
Yeah.
Like
Sorry,
put
no,
them,
I hit the over, but Pat, I agree with you.
Yeah. put them in the main event. If you're gonna say they're
Oh,
the
you
main
were
event,
talking about the match.
Yeah, I
No,
was
he's
talking
talking
about the
about the
matches.
put them in the main event, make them the last match, and I think they were still gun shy about that, which they shouldn't have been. The crowd was
Not with
kind of
these
quiet.
women.
The crowd was kind of quiet on the entrances. That changes real goddamn quick. Hot start, fast action. The commentary a little pissed me off at the start because he said, I think it was Graves who said, "Oh, she has her scouted. It's a signature move, Corey." She knows that shit's coming. Like, come on, they don't have to scout.
Can I-
anybody.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Sure.
No.
Is there a better? Okay, I'm sorry.
No, go.
Is there a-
Obviously, yes,
is-
you dink.
I know. Is there a better or more convincing white meat babyface than Hugger Bailey?
Okay.
I hated Bailey. at
I
this
don't
incarnation.
understand how
I
Bailey's
know you did.
over.
Even
'Cause
now?
Bailey's pretty wet bready.
Even now.
So she's a good worker, but there's nothing there for me. I'm just not
I
into it.
really enjoy her gimmick right now.
I know, but I'm saying if you look around, like, think about like Alexa and Sasha and Charlotte, and you got these like big personalities, and like Bailey's personality before this was I give hugs, and then now it's I'm tired of giving hugs and I have dark hair.
She's a Karen. She's a Karen.
Yeah, but
That's what
like
she is.
I feel like Bailey just seems like I don't know if there's anything about Bailey that's like
I think Bailey is going to retire, and you will not talk about Bailey. I think she's Beth Phoenix. I think that's what she is.
I think that's very fair.
Is that
Yeah.
okay? Is
Yeah,
that okay
That's
though?
fine. That's
yeah,
fine.
if you're at peace with that,
Nothing wrong with
I think
that.
a lot of people
Yeah.
would take a Beth Phoenix Bailey career.
I think the best part about this match though is like to make it a great match, it has to have subtle things, and they had the change of pace, building to something. They were trying. Sasha was trying to get the double knees, and Bailey wasn't letting her, and then she finally got it. And then the hand stomping on during the bank statement on Bailey on her injured hand, which they build up to that. It
They
tells
do
a story.
great with that hand.
When they tell a story, it's a really good match. Everything's a great match.
We're gonna talk about rating in just a short second here. I had 3 problems with this match. Number 1, was I felt like Sasha talked way too much. She tried to use her voice way too much to get over the heel aspect. I didn't like that.
Just work.
Just work. You guys were fine. Like, you're the
The
heel,
build-up's
she's the
done.
face.
The build-up's done now. Just
Yeah.
work.
It's funny you say the build. The difference between this and a lot of 5-star matches that did not give this 5 stars is I felt like the pre-match build was a little shallow for my liking.
Right.
It's the you kind of that bully angle, and I didn't really like that. And then so the finish, you have the finish. Bailey wins with the Bailey to belly, which is a terrible finisher.
It's a great name, though. I love the name.
But then after these 2 other women who have been heels to her in the past come out and the 4 horsemen pose together, that bothered me. I'm sorry, it bothered me a little bit. I get the moment. It's a great picture, but as far as the match, like work the gimmick, work the story.
Yeah. That's what it killed it. And like their second encounter, I don't even think was as good as this one. I don't know. It was just
it was a great match. As a standalone wrestling match, this was amazing.
And in the end, Bailey wins. She wins the women's title. Meltzer gives us 4.5 out of 5. Wild to me.
Really? You guys thought that was wild?
I gave it lower. Like, it's still a 4.
That surprised me.
I gave it 4.2 out of 5.
Jordan?
I'd go even. Oh man, if I'm being honest, I'm giving it like I didn't love the 2, so I'll go 3.9. It just like wasn't.
I think in the terms of the women's revolution, or
for what it was at the time, yeah, probably.
I think it was the most. I think it might be one of the most important women's matches of this era.
I did a 4.5. You just watched this wrestling match. Don't watch the pre-build. Don't watch the after. Just watch bell to bell.
Yeah, holds up.
And the match is fantastic. I gave it a 4.5.
Yeah, and like at the end of the day,
really, really good match.
I think the final main event, the second main event, was the true main event, and it was great. You had Finn Balor against KO in a rematch for the world title.
Pardon me?
Finn Balor, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Against KO in a ladder match.
Actually, Demon Balor?
Yeah, the Demon. Which Demon, yay or nay? Do we miss that?
I think it got overused, and I like that they're backtracking it because it's coming back in the future somewhere important.
And when it does,
it's going to be big. And it won't be until
Karrion?
Karrion
Kross
in his rematch with Karrion, I think.
No, it won't. It won't be until they have crowd.
Oh yeah, you're
absolutely no point to use it before the crowd.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
you're right.
And I mean, this is just a clinic, man. I think KO is the star of this match because he was on such a heater coming in. Cena put him over. Had great matches with Cena. Got the rub from Cena. He just knows how to work a crowd. He came in and was like, Baylor's going to carry the NXT, but I am the biggest goddamn deal in this arena.
Low key, best spot in the entire match is when Owen sets up Finn against the ring apron and puts a ladder up against him, and it looks like he's going to run up the ladder or do like something up the ladder, and then fakes out everybody, even me, who has seen the match. I'm like, he's gonna do. Oh no, he's just gonna punch him. Like, just little subtle things like that is why KO is so good.
I found this whole match can be described as a controlled car crash. Like, there's a lot of guys in AEW, they do the car crash match where it just looks like chaos. This felt like it was a car crash, but it was a planned out car crash, and it all worked together.
Yeah. Logical spots is what I wrote down.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it, is logical spots.
Like, you're still doing the spots, but they're for a reason and they're set up properly.
I think Kevin Owens takes the safest, scary spots in the business.
Oh, yeah.
He's built.
If Kevin Owens, I think Kevin Owens is who he is because of his physique.
Yeah.
So it's he's
like Mankind. Mankind could take those bumps because of the way he was built.
Right. And I was almost going to say, like, can you imagine what he would be if he had the physique? But then I don't think he would be Kevin Owens. So he kind of just is who he is.
And I think that's part of the allure of Kevin Owens.
It's like Kevin's like us. It's like if an everyman decided to wrestle.
Or he's the guy that you go see at the bar and you're like, look at this guy. I think he's playing wrestler.
That. Yeah.
But meanwhile, like, Kevin Owens is an absolute star.
Yeah.
Yeah. The match ends with a coup de grace from the top of the ladder. You know what match I'm not taking? A coup de grace ever.
Yeah, that looks.
Never taking a coup de grace.
No, fuck that.
Talk about trusting the guy who's swinging it, eh? Like,
shit.
If you're,
man.
Yeah. So
But I mean, if you're gonna take it from someone, you might as well take it from Finn Balor.
Yeah, definitely. You're not taking a coup de grace from fucking like the Undertaker.
Baron
So
Corbin. So yeah, this was kind
Seth
of
Rollins' coup de grace just puts his heels in
Oh.
someone's ribcage every
He'd
fucking
murder
time.
you. This was KO's kind of send off. He left NXT after this, and Baylor wins, retains the title.
Pardon me.
Balor, I'm sorry,
Thank you.
retains the title, and Meltzer gives it a 4 1/4 star out of 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2. I had
Yeah,
almost like
sorry.
eyes on pops in my head.
I thought it was the best match on the card. I thought it was
I
better than what
agree.
Meltzer gave it. I gave it a 4.4 out of 5.
I would go 4.5. I remember watching it and the coup de grace onto the ladder. I almost like did a backflip. It was fucking amazing.
I give it a 4.5 also. It was on par as a wrestling match with the one before it. It's why I love wrestling. Matches like that are why I love wrestling. Just two guys that know exactly what they're doing and they do it really, really well.
Overall,
Like,
great
nothing
card.
else to say.
Cheers it, chug it, or sip it, Matt.
Cheers is the good one, Jordan.
Thank you.
And I am going to cheers it. If you had not had those two last matches, it was probably a sip. This is a cheers.
Yeah,
Cheers
100%.
it.
Cheers.
Yep, saved it at the end.
All right, boys. So that was our last normal episode of 2020. Next week, we're going to be doing some fun awards, best of the year of beer and of wrestling. So stay tuned to that. Look at our socials. We're going to have some nice little things out there for it. Follow us on Instagram at Bros Bumps Beers, A&D, on the Twitter at Bros Bumps Beers.
It's like you're rusty, like you didn't do this last week.
Fuck. At JSco55, at Matt, at Gagne and Matt with 2 T's, and at Pat Gagne on Untapped. And we will see you next week for our very last episode of 2020. Drink local, support local. We'll see you next week.